People think once you've learned to crochet that writing a pattern will be easy, but I honestly couldn't disagree more. It has been creatively one of the hardest things I have had to learn, and I'm still not very good at it. I'm still a complete beginner. So, today we're going to talk about the truth of crochet pattern writing. Hi, guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Megan, and this is Meligan's Yarns. Now, today I want to talk about the truth of crochet pattern writing because honestly, hand on heart, it's one of the hardest things I have ever had to do. I think the worst part for me is that I can see exactly what I want to make, I can sketch it out perfectly, and I have such good ideas in my head, but actually bringing it together and bringing it to life in yarn is just so difficult. Pattern writing isn't just about making a thing, it's about making something that someone else can recreate, and it has to come out the same every single time. For me, I mostly use Chanel yarn because I like to crochet plushies. I have to work in rounds, and a lot of the time, these rounds are multiples of six. So, you do have to know some very basic maths to make sure that you can get your increases and decreases and get the shaping right. But don't worry, it's not scary maths, it is simple, and you can just count on your fingers. Like, it's no big deal. So once you've sketched out your design and you know what you want it to look like, you've then got to start testing this pattern. This is probably one of the harder parts because it is a lot of work, it is a lot of yarn, and honestly, it is so much time and frustrating. You're frogging, you're rewriting, you're constantly testing, you've got a graveyard full of extra limbs that of all the different crochets you're trying. It's overwhelming and it can be really difficult. During these times, I can't tell you how many times I've just wanted to give up and I keep questioning, why am I even trying to do this? What is the point? And the point is, I want to be a crochet pattern writer because I think I've got so many good ideas I can get out there. But because it is so difficult and it's so hard and super frustrating, I just sometimes think, why? Why are you doing this when there is plenty of other patterns you can just make? But we're still here because we're trying. And I also think that when we all started to learn to crochet, we couldn't do that easily. I mean, I know when I picked up my first crochet hook, it took me weeks just to learn how to do a chain and then how to actually crochet into that chain. I tell everybody when I say I'm going to teach you how to crochet, them first few rows are the hardest. Getting your chain, crocheting into your chain, they are the hardest part. Same for your magic ring. Getting your magic ring, getting your first round or two of the magic ring are the hardest parts. Because then once you've gone that, you can sort of clearly see your stitches and see where you need to work. Prior to that, it is super hard. So if we all manage to learn to do the basics of crochet, we have to keep pushing because we will eventually get there with the pattern writing. When creating beginner friendly pattern, now I've created a few and they're not by any stretch of the imagination anything amazing. I mean, I will show you. So my first pattern I actually designed, I haven't got with me here because I designed it for my son. So he was obsessed with a certain game and he asked me to create one of the characters. And I did. And actually it took me ages, a lot of yarn, a lot of hard work and a lot of frustration. And I think halfway through it, I thought, do I even want to make this? But I love him, so I thought, yeah, we'll keep pushing. Now, by the time I got it done, after 6 attempts of making full on plushies and lots of writing and scribbling out, I did actually make it, and it looked class. It was good. It looked exactly like this character. For copyright reasons, I called it something different and put it out there on Etsy. Now, I thought this is going to sell. Didn't not even had a sale to date. Has not had a sale, and it's been out for nearly a year. And it's a shame because I thought, yeah, this is really cool. This is really good. Didn't sell, not one. From there, I went on and made this. Very basic again, but a butterfly. Again, not really had much interest. That's fine, but that was my second pattern that I wrote. My third pattern was this Halloween gonk. He's cute, but again, no one really wants him, and that's fine because what I like, other people don't, and there are better ones out there, and that's absolutely fine. I then went ahead and made this little snowman, but I didn't actually get it out because I never got it finished because I was doing other projects. But I felt like my crochet pattern writing was getting a little bit better. And then finally, my most recent one is this little flower baby. Again, not 100%. I haven't put it out there yet. I'm going to rewrite this pattern and just try and get it a little bit better before releasing it out. Will anybody buy it? I don't know. Who knows? But if no one does, it's fine because it's still all practice. And that's the other thing. Just because you think it's cute doesn't mean anybody else does. Doesn't mean anybody wants it. So, it's disappointing when that happens, but it does happen. but you just see it as a learning curve. You have to learn what people want and what is selling. And so, as I said a little bit earlier on, I do beginner crochet patterns. Now, that's probably a little bit harder than doing expert patterns because when you make a beginner one, you have to really describe everything in detail because you've got to imagine that this person picking up your pattern has never crocheted before. If you're doing an expert or an advanced or an intermediate, you are pretty much assuming that they know how to do your stitches, they know your magic ring, they know how to do single crochets, increases. You don't need to put much information in there, you just need the pattern, and then this person can go ahead and do it. For a beginner, you have to really describe everything because, again, if you've bought this pattern going, today's the day I'm going to learn to crochet, but you've never done one before, it can be very confusing seeing on your page SC6 into a MR. Like, if I didn't know what that was, I'd be like, is this a different language? I have some friends who have just started picking up crochet, and last night they came to my house and they were like, "Oh, I don't understand what all the abbreviations mean." So, yeah, it can be confusing. You need to know your abbreviations. And as a crochet pattern writer, your abbreviations need to be the same as what everybody else's are. You can't make up your own because somebody's going to look at it and go, "What is that?" You know what I mean? You've got to have the same. It's got to be consistent all the way through. I like to talk about these type of situations openly. Like, I will openly tell you, I am not the best crocheter out there. I am still learning. I've made plenty of crochets. I've made plenty of patterns from other people's writings. They come out wonky, they come out wrong, they take me ages. I'm not the strongest person who crochets, but I do really give it a go. I like to be open and honest because there are people watching this video now who go, "Oh, I really want to crochet, but I don't think I'm going to be good." That's okay. Nobody's perfect. There are some phenomenal crocheters out there. Great for them. But I am not one of those. And that's fine because the more I do it, the more I learn, like we've said earlier on. If you are wanting to crochet a pattern right, again, I'm not very strong at it, but I'm doing this video because also, you're not on your own. Do not worry if it all goes wrong every single time because there will be a point where you'll get that pattern absolutely nailed and be over the moon. Just because you're struggling to write your pattern does not make you a bad crocheter. It's just a difficult thing to do. And if there's one thing I've learned, that writing a pattern is a completely different skill set on its own. It does not go hand in hand with knowing how to crochet. Yes, it's good knowing the abbreviations, but writing a pattern is completely different. You're using your imagination for a starter. You have to create something that someone else hasn't created and then write it and make it as well. So if you've ever tried creating a pattern, how did it go? What went wrong for you? Was it the maths? Was it the amount of testing? Was it the fact that you just couldn't get it lined up properly or that the portions of the body were wrong? Crochet can be cozy, but creating something from scratch can be messy. So if you are learning, let me know in the comments below what you found the hardest. And if you are a pro crochet writer watching this, put in the comments some tips and help a girl out because it is hard work. That's everything for now, guys. Drop me a like, subscribe to this channel, and drop me a follow as well. Thanks, guys. Bye.